Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shanna Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology, and instructional coach from my district.
And I'm her producer and husband, Fuzz Martin. And if I'm reading this correctly, I'm the one who puts this show together each and every week.
Clever.
Well, just like the audio part. You put together all the content.
Yeah.
And then I make it sound okay and then put it up on the website.
This is true.
That's my role. And I'm cool with that. So we're on episode 133.
We are here in good old November.
In November of 2022.
With the cold November rain.
Getting close to Thanksgiving. I mean, we're halfway through now, November. So it's
moving too quickly.
Moving quickly. Yeah.
Moving very, very fast.
Yeah.
And trying to catch up on everything and do all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of fun stuff. So this week I have some fun reading sites.
Cool.
And one of them is new and one of them is a review because we haven't talked about it in a very long time. Our first site this week is really adorable, actually. It's called teachyourmonster.org is the site. It's Teach Your Monster Reading for Fun.
Yeah, it is a cool, cute looking site.
It's really cute. It's adorable. It's created by the Usborne or Useborne books. Like that's the creator. It's the company.
Sure.
And these are free resources for parents and teachers. Like you can use them at home. You can use them, which I like about that. Like you can play these activities at school or at home or wherever your little heart desires. What's cool about them too is they are playable on computers and also on tablets, and you can choose to do. It's free on computers. You can download on like an Apple app. You can download on Google Play, and they have them on the Amazon App Store, so you can access them kind of anywhere. And they're based on teaching young kids. I would say like K2, K3, or pre-K, early readers, different reading activities.
Sure.
So they have one game that's meant for, it's like Teach Your Monster to read, and it's letter sounds and activities. And our second grader was playing this one this morning. She's like, this is easy, but this is so much fun because you get to create your little monster and you choose how he looks and you choose his outfit and it engages students that way. And I always appreciate that it teaches computer skills as well because they can then, you can use it on a tablet.
Yeah.
For younger kids, but if they are learning to use mouse skills, I always appreciate that where like they have to scroll over things to make them work. So it teaches them like some basic computer skills while also learning their letter sounds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the game is you have this little monster that you've created and it goes down and they identify the letter sounds and everything is read to them, which is helpful. And so it's self-guided. And then they learn the letter sound and then have to save other little monsters. And then you like defeat the little guy from being captured by finding your letter sounds and then eating healthy fruits. Like they have fruits and vegetables to like go get you. It's really cute. And then Teach Your Monster to Read. There's another one. So there's different games. It's reading is for fun. Teach Your Monster Reading for Fun. And that one, they read the story out loud and it asks you to read out loud with them. So like they're doing the story of the little monsters and it's teaching you to read and it's across your screen. So that way they can read and practice their reading skills while the story is being read. So it's like kind of interactive that way. And you get to do little things with your monsters. On that one, I wish they would read a little slower just because like.
Allow them time to connect the word.
But you could reread it as many times as you'd like to. So that's fine too. And then they also have a number skill game where you can click on that and you can play and the little monsters do the different number skills. And then they also have a beta game that they have that's about healthy eating. So you're a little monster and you get to pick like, what's your favorite or what do you want to try today? And they like bananas and blueberries and other things. And then you can pick and then they teach the senses. So like, we're going to go to the smell machine. What do you do with the smell machine? Like, and it teaches the 5 senses and healthy eating with fruits and vegetables. And so that one's still beta format, but you can still play it. And all of the games are free. which I appreciate. And you can sign up as a student or as a parent or as an educator. And it's cool. Like, the kids are super engaged very quickly. It's easy to navigate. It practices both phonics skills and reading skills, and it doesn't take too much effort to set up.
And again, it's very cute. And
they're so cute.
And looks like I want to play with it. I can only imagine that kids want to play with it.
Yes. And so that's teachyourmonster.org. And yeah, the computer version is 100% free. It's meant for phonics and programs, and it's really cute. And so you can put it, if you have your students on, like you can drop this link into your Google Classroom if you have students navigating from there, wherever they navigate from. It's really easy. And you can have like player management as a parent. You can, or teacher, you can add players if you choose to take them away.
Sure.
That kind of thing. So
yeah, it's available on the computer, in the Apple App Store, Google apps. So if you have Google tablets, it'll work on there. And then also...
And the computer version is free. The app versions have like their own...
Do they? Oh, they have paid pieces?
I don't know if there's upgrades to them, but I know
Gotcha. Okay.
for sure
Gotcha.
They can play it on their Chromebooks.
Good to know.
So there you go. So yeah, teachyourmonster.org, great. I would say like K2, K3 for our younger students who are learning to read, practicing phonics sounds. You can put it in your different reading stations and things like that where students can do them, and they're self-paced. And they're very fun and cute. So cute.
Yeah, just confirm that it is like $5.99 to buy the app for iPad. So
there you go.
Okay, good.
So teachyourmonster.org.
Teach your monster. What if you say it fast enough? It's like teacher monster.
Teacher monster.
Teacher monster.
So there's that. So that's for our younger students that I had to say, and I thought that was kind of cute and adorable to play. And then for older students, way back when in episode 34, fall of 2020.
We were so young then.
It was so long ago. We had talked about readworks.org. And I had highlighted, like, it's great for reading, it's great for social studies. Well, readworks.org has, since fall of 2020, done some changes and upgrades to their programs just because, well, for a while there, spent a lot of time on computers doing computer things.
We certainly did. And
we still do. But ReadWorks is a great site, free, and it gives you articles, great for information. Like, so as a teacher, you can create your account. You can then assign articles to your students. So it gives you access to do that. And you can drop information into your classroom, however you want to set it up. But what I appreciate about this is that these stories or these articles some of them have video or like audio set up with them. So if you have ELL students or you have students that struggle with reading, they can be read to them. They set them at different reading levels. So you can have the same article in 3 or 4 different reading levels. So if you have lower level readers and then like at level readers and then challenged readers, you can share the same article and information with them. And yet it's at the level of reading. And so vocabulary, so they can be comfortable reading the same content. So they're not reading something different than each other.
Sure, yeah.
They have a whole thing on branches of government. They go through, it reads to them. I really appreciate the audio for a lot of my students. This is great when I need articles read to students if I'm not there, or just I'm doing like a flipped classroom type deal where they need to hear it, they need to read it, and then they bring it up. So it's great because it'll give you the details where it'll say like word count, lexile, vocabulary that would stand out in the article, the author, and then it'll give you other related articles that can go with it. So not only will it read to you, but as a teacher, it'll give you all the background information that you need. It also connects vocabulary activities and word builders that you can do with your students, which is really cool that you can pick any article. So like I can be teaching social studies content and still have reading skills built into my social studies content, which is really helpful to show kids that like reading doesn't just happen in reading class.
Right, yeah.
And then if you go through the articles, like they have a whole thing for Veterans Day, which, just happened last week. We have formative assessment stuff. They have all kinds of activities. So you can choose your tools. There's like a toolbar across the top. So they have their content section where you can choose whatever content we want to go with. If you want to just full on ebooks, you can. If you want to do specific activity types, so if you want to do open-ended questioning or inferring questioning, they have specific articles that fit that. You can choose grade level content. You can choose from science and social studies and the arts. You can choose holiday events, nonfiction, fiction, poetry, which is always huge, trying to find poetry. I feel like We're looking for different poetry out there. And a lot of teachers ask me for that for a resource all the time. They have assignments progress where you can check as a teacher if your students are filling in their work and how everybody is doing and the kind of snapshots of student progress and all kinds of stuff. ReadWorks is a huge resource for teachers. They have lots of cool articles. You can put them at leveled content for students. They can be read to students. And it's really kind of a neat idea to roll out to your students so that everybody has kind of a differentiated lesson without having to do all of the differentiating yourself.
Sure.
So that's definitely ReadWorks. It's something very cool for students to use. And I suggest it. It's been a long time since we've talked about it. And they've definitely put in some improvements in there over the years since we've chatted about it before.
Yeah. Well, it's always nice to see a nice upgrade to a site and see that it's thriving and that they're taking it to the next level. So,
yes. And super helpful. Mm-hmm. So reading with our students, whether it be K2 or middle school, high school, and everywhere in between.
Excellent.
Cool.
By the way, if you were listening and you heard little dogs barking or pounding on the door, that was because we're in the studio and the child is right outside the door.
And on that note, thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Twitter at SmartNWI. And if you want to get more information on the links, the technology discussed in this episode, you can visit smartnwi.com. If you'd like to support the show, please consider buying me a coffee or two. Visit buymeacoffee.com/smartnwi or visit smartnwi.com and click on that cute little purple coffee cup. Your donations help keep the show going. New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed on this podcast and the Smart NWI website are those of the author Shanna Martin and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described, but we hope they do. And we'll talk to you next time right here on the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast.